Alright guys, it is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly, and we are back to preview RB Leipzig versus Manchester United. A massive game, probably one of Manchester United's most important games of the season, if not the most important game of the season so far. Before I get into it, please do make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well if you are new, and we'll get straight into it really. But as well, if you're watching as a video, make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I always read the comments, so please do feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And your predictions really, because this game could really go either way, and especially considering the permutations of this game, very, very important indeed. But yeah, Dazza and Asian Gamer, thanks for joining as well, and Adam as well, appreciate it. I think Kobe was in here before as well. She'll probably join in as usual. But yeah, thanks for coming in, guys, already. Appreciate it. As I said, keep getting your thoughts in the live chat, and we'll discuss them very, very soon. And we're live. Finally, we're live. Yeah, we're live. And obviously, it's a little bit better than it was last time. Obviously, my face was a little bit, kind of blocked by the light, if you know what I mean, like the lights above me, whatever. So I've kind of got it so you can actually see my facial features a little bit better. Asian Gamer already going with a 2-1 United, saying he's scared. Yeah, listen, it's going to be very, very difficult. I mean, there's no two ways about it, to be honest. Especially away from home against Leipzig, it's not going to be easy. And if we play like we did against the first half against West Ham, we will be absolutely fine. If we play like we did against the second half, we will be in trouble. We will be in massive trouble. But we're going to talk about Leipzig first, as we usually do. Welcome, Rich, as well. Thanks for joining, Rich. Appreciate it. Make sure to check out Rich Sports. I'll be on Rich's preview at 10 o'clock tonight, so make sure you do set your reminders. Go over to his channel. Make sure you set a reminder on his preview to be there when it goes live. But I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, make sure you go over to Rich's channel there if you haven't already. But yeah, as I said, as you can see behind me, it's a bit of a shambles. I can't do much about that at the moment. But it is what it is. Just got to try and block it out. But maybe it's part of the charm. Maybe it's part of the charm of watching this stream. You know, you don't get this sort of shambolic mess on any other show. So there you go. Leipzig are in very, very good form right now. In terms of home games, they haven't actually lost a home game this season, and they haven't even drawn a home game this season. They've won every single game at home they played. I think they played I played a decent amount of games at home this season, won all of them, including a 2-1 win against PSG as well. And they're just a very, very good side. We know that already. Even in the 5-0 win we played against, we played at Old Trafford. They were a decent team up until the second goal. I think after the second goal, they did kind of fold a little bit, and it was easier for us to get goals. And also, Marcus Rashford was just so clinical on the night as well. It's very, very difficult to stop a player who's in that sort of mood. So, for them, I think they got a little bit unlucky, and I think the score didn't fully reflect the game. But at the end of the day, we know their strengths, we know their quality. Obviously, they don't have Dayot Upamecano as well, the man that everyone's going to be talking about, I'm sure, in regards to Man United transfer news, probably in the summer. But Upamecano, we know the quality he has, and obviously he's out through suspension, and also Klosterman as well is out through suspension as well. So a few players not available to Leipzig going into this one, but they still got quality. They've just got real quality. Sabitzer, a really, really good player, only came on as a substitute against us at Old Trafford. Obviously Poulsen as well, he's going to cause a lot of problems for our back line. So, we know it's going to be difficult. I don't think there's any illusions really about that. A few comments saying, yeah, keeping it real with the studio. Yeah, keeping it real. There's no corporate stuff here, trust me. Keeping it real. Adam, thanks for joining us. Get Pogba out. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be talking about Paul Pogba. I'm going to talk about the preview a bit first, and then obviously, if any of you want to join in, we will probably or inevitably get onto the topic of Paul Pogba, because that's really the thing that everyone's talking about right now. Rich says 5-0 was a great score, but a very close for an hour. David De Gea made a quality save as well. Yeah, I think 100%. I don't think the scoreline necessarily reflected the result, or at least I don't think the scoreline necessarily reflected how the game panned out. But for me, I think we did show a lot of quality, and we show that their defence can be opened, which is obviously good to have, that knowledge that we can, and I think we probably will, create a lot of chances against them, especially if we play the way we did in the second half against West Ham. There's no way that we're not going to have chances. So it's all about whether we're clinical enough. If we're clinical enough, we can get the win. And we're better away from home as well. I think we create more chances away from home, and I think especially without Upamecano, who realistically is not only their best defender but their best player in the team, most influential player in the team, I'd say. We should be able to create enough chances to win the game, if we take them, of course. Red Devil Studio, Old Man G, thanks for joining, man. Appreciate it. Make sure to check out Red Devil Studio if you haven't already. He says, bro, if Pogba thing disrupts our game tomorrow, I should say, yeah. Obviously, that would be so frustrating, and I think it probably will. I think the narrative obviously is going to be towards Paul Pogba. That's what everyone's talking about right now, and I think it probably will have an effect. Who knows? I mean, some people are saying that Pogba might start tomorrow. Some people are saying Pogba might start, which I can't believe. I can't believe that Pogba's going to be starting after all this, but Solskjaer does surprise us. He does surprise us from time to time. So maybe Solskjaer will throw a spanner in the works and put Paul Pogba in the team. But one man that has to be in the team is Bruno Fernandes. I don't care whether Solskjaer's got some mad scientist type plan. Bruno Fernandes has to be in the team. Without him in the team, in that first half against West Ham, we looked so poor. We looked awful in that first half without Bruno Fernandes. So we need him in the team. We need him fit. We need him raring to go. And if he plays well, we usually play well as a team. So Bruno Fernandes has got to be in there. I don't want to see Pogba in there ahead of Bruno Fernandes. So we'll see. Dazza says it's going to be very tough. Agreed, Dazza. Agreed. Leipzig, they're a decent side. They're a very, very good side. Coming into this game, they drew 3-3 with Bayern Munich. Away from home as well in Munich. Obviously they've shown that not only can they score goals, but obviously they do concede goals as well. And I think that should play into our hands a little bit. Obviously, a lot of people when the group was drawn, a lot of people were saying that a team like Leipzig would be very, very difficult for us to beat because they can switch tactics throughout and they are very tactical minded. There's not really they're not one dimensional. They haven't just got one plan where they just, lob the ball up to Poulsen or whatever and just see what happens, or they only have fast players. They can switch tactical systems throughout a game, and obviously we're a team that likes to counter-attack, but if they know our strengths and sense our weaknesses, then they'll be able to switch to whatever formation. But obviously in that first game, even though they played well, defensively, they let themselves down. And we've got to hope that happens again, really, because realistically, you can be as good going forward as you want, but if you don't take your chances and then your defence lets you down, you're never going to win any games. So we've got to hope that same trend comes up again and Leipzig fall to that same thing. As I said, I don't think it's Pogba's fault, to be honest. If his agent, he's an arse, yeah. Well, I think we all agree with that, Daz. We all agree with that. But we're going to talk about a bit about Manchester United and obviously a bit of team news as well. Edinson, Cavani and Anthony Martial both ruled out of the game. So basically, Rashford and Greenwood are realistically our two forward options. Our two main hopes of scoring goals as well behind Bruno Fernandes. And yeah, I'm more worried about Edinson Cavani not being in the team. I think what Edinson Cavani's provided us in the last few games has been, worth its weight in gold. I think, the way he creates space for other players, his movement as well, and his playmaking. He set up the goal for Bruno Fernandes against Southampton to make it 2-1. He played such an important role in that second half that without Cavani, I think, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to create that sort of space. Yes, against West Ham, when we took Cavani off and we played the way we did, we scored, 3 times and we looked clinical. And I'm not saying we're not going to create chances, but I think with Cavani on the pitch, if a chance falls to him, I think out of all the strikers that we've got right now, he's the guy most likely to put it in the back of the net. So for me, I would love, obviously Cavani, it would have been great to see him play in one of these games, but unfortunately, he's ruled out injured. We just got to suck it up, and he'll probably be out injured as well for the Manchester derby, which is unfortunate. Rich says, shame about Cavani. 100% agree, mate. 100% agree. Couldn't agree more. It is a shame about Edinson Cavani. But we just got to, play without him. Obviously, we've got to take the confidence really from the fact that in that second half against West Ham, we didn't have Cavani and we created quite a few opportunities. And we, to be fair, the Pogba goal did help a lot. But in the end of the day, we had all these chances, and we probably could have won the game by a few more goals if we were more clinical. I think Rashford obviously hit the post with one of his chances. We could have been a lot more clinical than we were. So we've got to take confidence from that. Really, we've got to take confidence from that. But yeah. Rich says Martial hasn't been playing well recently. Missed. No, recently, so probably not so much of a miss. Yeah, I think Martial hasn't been up to the same sort of standards as we've usually seen. Obviously, he's a bit of a form player. Martial is definitely a form player. And when he's not on form, he doesn't really provide much to the team. You see some strikers where when they're not scoring goals, they can still provide something to the team. They can still add to the team. But unfortunately for me, I don't see what Martial provides when he's not scoring goals. And a truly, great striker is someone who, even in a game where they don't score, they can still provide an assist, or they can still provide that sort of movement. For example, look at Harry Kane. Harry Kane provided that sort of movement, and provided that sort of, created that sort of space for the other forward players to score. And I think that is what you need in a team. You need players who are going to be able to create you that forward movement, create you that space, and I'm not sure if Martial does that, but I feel like Martial doesn't run in behind as much as we want. I think that's one of the main reasons. He's got the pace. He has the pace to do it, but he just doesn't seem to want to, which it is frustrating. But when Martial is on form, like we saw towards the end of last season, he's very, very difficult to deal with. He's very, very difficult to play against. So, hopefully he gets back to that sort of form when he's back fit. But if he doesn't, then maybe it's time for him to move on, because he is 25 now. He's not this kind of young, this young prospect coming in. He's a lot, he's not that young player, that we can say, oh, well, he's got a lot of time to mature. He still has got a lot of time to get better, but at the same time, he is 25 now, just turned 25 this week or last week even. I think he is definitely someone who we've got to... We've got to just kind of look at and maybe just evaluate his place at the club, I would say. Rich said VAR not being able to check the long pass from Henderson helped. It did help. It did help, to be fair. I think it did go out of play, but to be fair, there wasn't enough evidence really. There's no way you could conclusively prove that ball went out over the line. Which I'm happy with, to be fair. I mean, I'm sure that down the line we're going to get stiffed with some VAR decision as well. Because it seems to always come back. It always comes back. Life always comes back to get you. So I'm sure we'll get some sort of decision in the future that will, that will kind of just screw us up, and it'll be a poor decision from VAR. But everything in life, it goes around. What goes around comes around, as they say. What goes around comes around. Obviously we got the 3 points, and that's all that matters, especially away to West Ham, where we've been quite poor. We've actually been quite poor away to West Ham. I think we only won one out of our last, 4 or 5 visits there. So, it's very, very difficult to, to play at West Ham. So the fact we've got the result is big. It's definitely big for us in the league. And now we could go 2 points off the top with a game, with a game in hand. So who would have thought that we'd be in this position, when at the start of the season when we were losing to Crystal Palace and Spurs. I mean, I didn't think we'd be in this position, but it just shows how close the league is right now. Adam says we'll miss Fred. Yeah, obviously Fred suspended after... I mean, I don't know what he was doing against PSG. I don't know whether, I could call that just... As I said, I'm speechless. I was kind of speechless then. I'm kind of still speechless now about what happened against PSG. He should have been sent off first half. We all know that. And then obviously in the second half, just after we concede, he goes in for a lunging challenge. I mean, anyway, we're over that now. We don't need to talk about that. Obviously, he is suspended. And I think it is going to be a miss. Because I think actually Fred, recently, I think most of us agree that he's been one of our better players. He's been one of our most influential players in that midfield, doing a great job for us. And it is unfortunate that he isn't going to be in there. So he'll probably look to go with Scott McTominay, and we'll probably will see a McTominay and Pogba pivot with, potentially Bruno Fernandes in there as well. Who knows? But yeah, Fred not playing is going to be a miss. I think it is going to be a miss, definitely. But we'll see what Solskjaer goes with. I think, with Fred out, he will put McTominay in there. I think McTominay's a pretty well a dead cert to play. And I think it also means that Van der Beek's place in the team is in jeopardy, because maybe if Fred was available, then he might look to play Fred, Van der Beek and Bruno Fernandes like we saw earlier in the week against Southampton, or last weekend against Southampton. But I think with Fred suspended, I think he will look to play McTominay, and then I don't think we'll play Van der Beek. I really, really don't. I want to see Van der Beek play, because I still think, even though he didn't have the best of games, to be fair, against West Ham, I didn't think he had the best of games, but maybe that was because he was still kind of hurting from the injury he suffered against Southampton, who knows. If he wasn't fully fit, he shouldn't be playing. I mean, even though we all bang the drum for Donny van der Beek, say he's one of the best players in our team, at the same time, we shouldn't be forcing him to play, or forcing any players to play, if they're not fully fit. So Van der Beek, for me, I'd love to see him play if he is fit, but if he isn't, I think we should leave him and play some other players. But I don't think against West Ham he had the best of games, but I just don't see him playing with Scott McTominay in the team either, to be honest. But we'll see what Solskjaer does. Adam says Van der Beek, Fernandes and Matic done. Even Matic playing, who knows? I mean, obviously a lot of people talk about Matic, saying he's like a cat, he's got 9 lives, he's just got so much stamina. I mean, I don't know how he's still going, to be honest. I don't know how he's still at the club, but to be fair, he's not doing that bad of a job. He's not doing that bad of a job when he does play. But he keeps going. He keeps fighting, even though his legs are probably screaming at him, telling him to slow down a little bit. But yes, obviously Matic didn't feature against West Ham, so maybe Ollie will pull the trigger and put Matic in there next to McTominay. That midfield will be so painfully slow, but he might go for it, who knows. Nicholas, thanks for joining as well. He says, do you think Man United will make new signings on January? I think they will. If you look at the speculation, I think they will make signings in January. But it won't be more than one, to be honest. It won't be more than one. I doubt we'll see any sort of bumper January transfer window. I think it will just be, one. I don't even think 2. I think even 2 is too optimistic, to be honest. I think 1 is probably the right amount of signings. Rich says there's always a surprise in the lineup, so you never know. Well, I couldn't sum that up better myself, Rich, to be honest. That's what I'm always saying. When Solskjaer, always picks a lineup, it seems like he always throws a surprise in there. I think there was that one game where he picked a lineup that everyone agreed with, and I think since then he just said, you know what, I've done that once. I'm not going to do it again. I'm just going to keep going with the same, put a surprise in there. Maybe put Brandon Williams, maybe start Henderson, do something like that. But yeah, he'd always like to spring a surprise on the fans and the team. He's only 32. Yeah, I mean, he, to be fair, he still is good enough to do a job. He's still good enough to do a job, but realistically, he is getting on a bit, and especially in the position that he plays, I think, when you are getting to 32, 33, mid-30s, it's very difficult to keep up a high-level performance when you're playing, Tuesday, Saturday. It's very, very difficult to keep up that level of performance. So, fair play to him for, keep playing for as long as he is. And I'm sure he's probably got a few more years left in him as well before he does retire. But obviously, when you are playing that kind of, the role that he does play, you need to have stamina. You need to be able to get up the pitch as well and, help the forwards. So, yeah, for me, Matic, at 32 years old, maybe he's got another season in him, but realistically, I think he will look to start slowing down a little bit. But let me know what you think about it. Obviously, Dazza there says anything over 30 years old. Adam says 32 ain't old. So people having differing opinions, and I like that. I like to see differing opinions, on the channel and on these debates. So yeah, if you've got anything to say at all, please do let us know in the live chat. Tom joins us and says Pogba is unlikely to be sold in January. If Pogba leaves for a transfer fee, he will leave in the summer. Yeah, I think we'd be stupid to let him go in January, to be honest. But I feel like we just need to let him go where we can get the most money for him. Realistically, we need to cash in where we can. There's no point getting rid of Pogba if we're going to get 50, 60 million for him. I genuinely think we could get 100 million for Paul Pogba. I really do. I think we could pull. There'll be a club out there who sees the potential in Pogba, and I think what might scupper Pogba's chances of getting a big move is the fact that of how all this is playing out, how all the kind of mess and just it's all a shambles really. So how this is all playing out, I don't think is going to help Paul Pogba whatsoever. Rich says Ibra and Ronaldo are exceptions regarding fitness. Matic is pretty slow. He's slowing down a little bit. No doubt about that. No doubt. Adam says fully live. What's happened to Hakan Çalhanoğlu? I like the spelling, by the way. I like the spelling. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, Tom's the guy with the knowledge. He's the guy who knows. But I'll open up the chat. I'll open up the chat to callers as we usually do now, because obviously I've said my piece. Really, I'll say my prediction actually. I'm not as most people are. I don't think I'm very confident going into this game. I don't think that we're gonna really stamp our authority on it, even though it is away from home. That's pretty well the only thing I'm holding my hat on, to be honest. Is the fact that it's away from home. But realistically, Leipzig away from home, they've won every game at home as well. And they've got quality players. They've got very, very good players. We played well in the second half against West Ham, but I do fear that we are a second half team and we're a reactionary team. So if Leipzig go ahead, then maybe we'll start playing better. But I just think that with all this stuff with Pogba and, all this, it's just a bit of a shambles leading into the game, and I'm a bit worried, to be honest. I'm a bit worried that game against Istanbul will come back to haunt us. So I'm going to go with a draw. I think we'll just sneak past with a draw, with a 1-1 draw. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope we do, put in like a 5-0 convincing victory or whatever. But realistically, I think we will just about get away with a draw. And I'll take that right now. If you offer me a draw right now, I'd take it, 100%. Obviously, I'd take it. But I'll put the link in the chat if anyone wants to join for a little bit. I probably won't be streaming for more than an hour. So, if you want to join in, please do feel free to do so. If not, we'll just keep going. But yeah, the midfield, I think, in terms of, how Solskjaer goes about this game, I think he will probably look to be a little bit more conservative. I don't see, Solskjaer, really kind of trying to go for the throat and trying to win the game, because obviously he knows that we only have to draw. So Leipzig are in the position where realistically, if they don't win the game, PSG will beat Istanbul and will go ahead of them on points. So Leipzig are in a position where realistically, unless other results go their way, they pretty well have to win the game. So I think in that way we are in a better position because we don't have that sort of pressure on us. But obviously we want to try and get top spot in the group, and it's going to be difficult. Even if we do win, obviously we'll have to. I think if PSG beat Istanbul, I think their head-to-head record's better than ours anyway, because they beat us 3-1. I'm not sure if that's how it works, but it might be. But we've got a few people who probably know a little bit more about how it works. We've got Transfer Tom, we've got Dazza on. Thanks, guys, for coming on, as always. Appreciate it. We'll start with you, Tom. Going into this game, obviously, we talked a little bit about it in the West Ham review, actually. Going into this game, are you confident? Do you think we'll get the job done? Do you think we'll just get over the line with a point? Or do you think we might potentially put on a really good performance?
Seriously.
I'm just asking.
Did you watch Bayern Munich versus Leipzig?
I didn't actually. I didn't.
Right. Well, I suggest you watch the highlights of that game, and then you'll see how the Man United game.
I saw the highlights. I saw the
whole game.
I saw the stats as well, and it seemed like Leipzig had the best of the match,
best team in the world.
and even by
best
the
team in the
highlights,
world, best team in Germany by a country mile, and
and there still will be. So.
Yeah, obviously they're still going to be. Nobody's going to topple them. The closest team that can topple them is Leipzig. Yeah, I don't think Dortmund are not doing anything. Dortmund are not doing anything. They're a bunch of greedy twats with players that are above £100 million. They might be for like 10 million, fob them off. Cheapos. No, but
and overhyped Haaland.
If we're being serious now about the Leipzig game, though, it's probably the biggest game of the season, if we're being honest, because I think we've not got to like a semi-final or anything yet, so you can't really say that it's a big game where you can get to a final or you can win a trophy. Like I've already said before, we should already be through this. We should already be through this. If we beat Istanbul, we're on 12 points, and the other teams are on 9. You're already through. The worst thing that you can do is go out by a goal difference, which is pretty much impossible considering the fact you beat Leipzig 5-0. So it's pretty much impossible to go out on goal difference anyway. But I think the only positive I'd take from the game, going into the game, is Upamecano isn't playing due to suspension. That is the only thing. That is the only thing I'll say. If he's playing, then I think we're going to struggle definitely. But even some of the defenders though, that they've got Klosterman, they've got Kanate. I think that's how you pronounce his name there. Ibrahim Kanate. He played really.
Klosterman's out, I think.
Yeah, I think he is.
If they have everybody, yeah. Hulkenberg's still a good player. I know he gets yellow cards every now and then, but he's still a good player. But you know, I think we can already see what's going to happen. We're going to go over there. We're going to play the double pivot. We're going to play Scott McTominay there. We're going to play probably Matic. It wouldn't surprise me. We're just going to sit back and play counter attack. You know. I just don't want to see. Well, if it were up to Owen, we'd be playing a 5 at the back anyway. So I just don't want. I just don't want this negativity anymore. But if we lose this game, I am branding Ollie as one thing, and that is Ole Gunnar Bottler. That is his new name. Not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ole Gunnar Bottler, because in the first season that he came here, and I know he was in half a season, he bottled the top 4. He got really, really close, and then he fell off of the wagon at the end. He got to 3 semi-finals, and then he didn't get to a final or even win a trophy. Who has that ever happened to, right? He nearly bottled the top 4 last season. He had to win on the last day via a penalty, pretty much. Then we go on to go into this season with the group stages, and we might even bottle this, and then we'll be playing Europa League again. So then you've downgraded. So then you've got probably 4 things that he's had major opportunities to do, like qualify for the Champions League or win a trophy, and he's failed. And people call Pochettino a bottler. Well, what's Ollie then? Ollie's his sidekick then, pretty much. He's Pochettino's sidekick. If you want to call it that. But just seriously, mate, we talk about PSG was a mountain to climb a couple of years ago when we were 2-0 down, but I think this is a bigger game than that, even when we're not 2-0 down, because if we're 2-0 down, then we've got at least a bit of incentive to play in the game, because if you've got to get through, you've got to play well. In this game, if we don't turn up, we're going to lose. If we turn up, we've got a chance. But, like key players, we haven't got let's just be honest here, we haven't got a centre-forward going into the game. Martial's out, Cavani's out. So you haven't got a designated centre-forward that has played regularly there. Martial's played regularly there from last year. Cavani's been playing regularly there recently. So who the hell he's going to put a front 3 up there of? I haven't got the foggiest, unless he's going to play a false 9 and use Fernandes or somebody in that role. But honestly, this is really going to show. This is going to make or break Ollie, because I heard it all last night. You heard it all when it all happened with Arsenal, with Arteta. He loses a North London derby, and then the whole reactions happen with, he needs to go, this, that, the other. The man won 2 trophies. Like, at least have a little bit of respect. If Ollie would have won a trophy, say, last season, I would have more respect for him. Because I know people are saying, Tom, you're so negative of Ollie. I'm not bloody surprised when we've bottled 4 key things in 2 years. Who bottles 3 semi-finals? Let's be honest. You put Pep Guardiola in them or somebody, he probably wins all 3 of them. He probably wins all 3 of them, or at least gets to the finals.
You would say that, but obviously Pep Guardiola's Man City got beaten by Arsenal in the semi-final last year.
Hey. Listen. Pep's going to get his revenge at the weekend.
They've got a much better squad.
Pep's getting his revenge on Saturday. But no, just go over there and just get some. Just get the win. That's all I care about. I don't want us to draw the game. I want us to win the game, because it blows Leipzig out of the water. Then there's none of this nervousness towards the 90th minute. Because I know what we'll do. We'll probably be leading 1-0, or it'll be a 1-1, and then we'll try and hold on at the end for the point. Just go and don't hold on for the point. Just go and counter-attack. It's what you're best at, then go and do it.
By the way, if we do win the game, right, we actually we'll finish top anyway, because we have the best goal difference of.
That's what I said before, because we beat Leipzig 5-0 prior.
Yeah, but what about does it go head to head and then goal difference?
No, it goes goal difference beforehand.
No, it's goal difference then head to head. And
Yeah.
we've got
Oh,
more
so
superior goal difference against them, you know.
Oh, okay.
So unless
fair play.
PSG is going to be playing cricket against Istanbul, then we should
Yeah.
top the
Well, who
group if
knows?
it was to
Who
go to
knows?
goal difference. What a figure. Wow.
Raja Deecher, thanks for joining. He says, I think Ollie's going to go with a 5-3-2 again.
Oh, God, no.
Who knows, mate?
I
Who
hope
knows?
Nah, he surely can't.
Rich says, nice to see Owen in the stream. Obviously, last stream Owen made an appearance. I'm not sure if he's going to make another appearance. I actually don't know where he is right now, but that's pretty standard. He goes missing. Raj also says, Pep needs
Just like his
350 million to...
back.
exactly, mate.
If you're going to play
exactly.
5 at the back, you might as well just forfeit the match against Leipzig.
Well-
because they'll just break it down easily. It's too defensive.
Nah, why would he go 5 at the back? I don't understand that. We beat Leipzig with a different formation. We did way better.
If he wants the counter-attack, he might go with 5 at the back.
Oh, please, God.
So,
I pray to the gods on the other side of the world, please,
Luke Shaw
now.
is not a left wing back, and neither is Alex Telles. So we
If he
haven't got
does
any
go-
proper wing backs. I suppose our man
If he
back
does
could
go-
probably play as a wing back, but our left backs can't.
if he does go 5 at the back, right, then I wouldn't play Cavani. I think Rashford
He can't
and
play
Daniel
anyway.
He's
injured.
Cavani's not travelling.
Cavani unfortunately is injured.
Cavani and Martial are not travelling, so we're relying on Greenwood and Rashford.
And Dan James. Oh.
If we're
Dan
playing
James.
counter
Dan
attack,
James,
then
got
I
it.
wouldn't see why not.
If he comes on the pitch, he might as well just walk straight off.
I mean, it could be worse. Could have Juan Mata on the wing.
I'll tell you what a pass to Rashford.
I'd prefer
But where was he, Kieran? He was in the middle of the field. Where he does everything. In the middle of the field. That's
Yeah, but he had the vision, didn't he? He had the vision.
Well,
It was a good pass,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, but you're not going to have them kind of gaps for this as Leipzig. Let's be honest.
Marcus
Now
Rashford.
that's
no,
stupid. He's going to leave them lines.
defensively.
I'll come to you, Dazza. Obviously, you've heard what Tom had to say going into the game. What are your feelings? Obviously, I saw in the comments actually you said you weren't confident and you thought tough.
Not at all.
On a scale of, I guess, on a scale of, okay, I was about to ask that question actually. You just answered it for me. But okay, let's go with a bit of a lineup question, a more focused question in terms of midfield. Obviously, the Paul Pogba debate. I may as well bring that up now. Apparently some people are saying that Solskjaer might still play Pogba tomorrow. Who would you put in that midfield?
No.
To be honest, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he did play Paul Pogba, because to be
Don't
honest with
fucking
you,
play
I
this
don't
guy.
think it's necessarily. I don't think it's necessarily Pogba's fault. I think it's his agent that's causing the problem.
Yeah, I don't think it's his fault, but mentally he won't be there for
He
that
needs
game.
to fire his agent. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, if he's there, then he'll probably play, but if he's not, then obviously no.
He's got to pay to fire him. He's got to pay to fire him with a contract.
Oh, well, yeah,
it's only like you sign for a club.
Obviously. But to be honest, I wouldn't be at all surprised if Ollie did play him, despite all these rumours and stuff. It's probably the media creating a load of crap again, because half of it's not even that true. And obviously, if you look at some of the recent Manchester United news, it hasn't been true. Unless it's Tom that's saying that, then I don't believe in half of it, to be honest with you. Because you know what the media are like. You're more reliable than the Biddy Sun and all, and you know. I think I could create better news reports than the Sun.
I was just about to say, I think we all could. I think we all could.
Yeah, I don't know
think
where
we
the
all
hell
could,
they get
yeah.
some stuff from, to be honest. Got some stuff about bringing Wayne
you're
Rooney
gonna-
back.
if-
Yeah, he's a coach.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
I know. Yeah. If you're going to get past a defence of Leipzig's calibre, I know they don't have Dayot Upamecano, but they will probably still have Mukiele, Halstenberg. Who else did you mention? I've forgotten who the other guy was now. Klosterman. I don't think Klosterman's playing, no.
Conte.
Yeah, Canate.
Canate, that's it. I can't pronounce his name properly.
There you go. Kante plays for Chelsea, mate.
I'd rather have him in defence.
You've got
to be
Mukiele,
honest.
you've got Canate. Yeah, you've got Canate, Mukiele, Halstenberg, who sometimes plays as a centre back. You've got great defenders like them who are quality. If Upamecano was actually starting, United wouldn't stand a sniff of a chance. Wouldn't stand a chance. And although Upamecano played pretty terribly at Old Trafford,
Everybody
that
has
was
a bad
different
game.
because that was the
Yes.
first. No one played good for Leipzig in that match. And I will tell you a stat that you probably don't even know. But there's only been 2 teams who've nicked points at the Allianz Arena this season: Leipzig and Werder Bremen. So if they can nick points at the home of the current Champions League champions, they can nick points against anyone. And at home, they have not lost all season. So they are... No, that's
Bottle
true.
FC.
It's true. You don't
Bottle
believe.
FC.
You set it up for
I'm
yourself.
telling you, Bottle FC, it's coming out.
So...
The arse is going to fall out tomorrow.
If people think we're going to win this game comfortably, then I'm sorry, but
We're not going to win the game
matches
full stop.
have you been watching this season? Which Leipzig are you watching? Are you watching Leipzig from 2 seasons ago? Because there is no hope in hell that United are winning this game. If they do win, I'll shut up and really eat sand or something. I don't know. But I'll be very, very
We'll keep you to that, Daz. We'll keep you to that. But
I'd be very, very surprised if we did win. I think we're getting nothing more than a point. Simple as that.
I think it's going to be difficult. I think Rich said, it's going to be tense. I think we all know it's going to be a very difficult game, and I think you're spot on. I think their record this season's been very, very good, and we've got to really play well. And I hope Tom's wrong. I hope that our arse doesn't fall out. But who knows?
You just know it's gonna.
Yeah. You just got to prepare yourself for the worst, really. But we're bringing K-Side. Thanks for joining. Obviously, with the name Owen is a legend. Unfortunately, he's not here to see that. But anyway, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it.
I bet you Tom.
Are you K-Side, are you confident at all going into the game?
Obviously, I'm confident. When you have a guy like Rashford in your team, you should be confident.
Don't start with this shit again.
When you see a man like Rashford, there should be 10,000 confidence. Look.
Ryan, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it.
Okay.
I'll bring some level head into this. Now, I'm very confident of being Leipzig. I've not watched their games. I did hear about against Bayern Munich. Now, of what I've seen of them against what's it called again? Us when we beat them 5-0. They were pretty crap. Let's be honest.
Do you not think for the first 60 minutes they were actually not too bad?
Neither team was really good, let's be honest. Neither team was that great. After 60 minutes, we just took the game out of their hands. That was it.
But guess who came on after 60 minutes?
Oh, don't know. Come on. Be serious now, man. Be serious, come on. Rashford, right, let me just say this. Without Bruno Fernandes, Rashford would not be where he is today. Let's be honest. Because 2 years ago, Rashford weren't doing it all on his own. Now he's got somebody who can help.
Before January.
Oh, come on, man. Before January, that was like 4 games.
He carried the whole team. October to January.
Oh, bloody hell, he carried the whole team. Wow. Jesus Christ.
So basically, if in your opinion, if Rashford wasn't available for this game, we may as well pack up and go home.
Yes.
Might as well do it anyway. Have your bags on standby.
There's only 2 good players. Kieran, if you put that fridge Maguire in defense, honestly, I'd rather go to freaking North Korea then instead. With Harry Maguire at the back. Look at him. Look at that fraud Harry Maguire, man. Look at that fraud Harry Maguire.
Let's be honest, he's not actually been that bad though recently.
No, he's so crap.
No, but he's not been that. Oh, come on. Recently, he's not actually been that bad. Like, he's not made a mistake or anything.
I don't care. I do not care. Harry Maguire equals crap. It's that.
Right, and what are you going to do if he scores tomorrow, man? What are you going to do?
Oh, imagine that.
I'll celebrate, but he's still crap.
He's still crap, yet he'd qualify you for the Champions League knockout stages.
Iron Man says, Ollie is so frustrated with the midfield dilemma. Matic, Fred, Scott, Bruno, Van de Beek, and now Pogba. Every game with a new lineup. Tell me the best 3. Yeah, go on.
No. You choose the best four there. You choose Van der Beek, Pogba, and Fernandes, and then you choose one of the final three, which is Matic, Fred, or Scott. And I think we know who's the best out of them three, don't we?
Kieran, is this mad? So let me tell you something, right? Now, I might get dead for this, right? But this is what I would do. The first 70 minutes, I'd set up with a a defensive, right? I put Rashford on the bench. I put Bruno Fernandes and Van der Beek on the same pitch, and I put Greenwood and James up. And then as soon as, hopefully, let's say hopefully it's 0-0 by then, right? What I would say is put Rashford on the pitch, and then he can do it again. If it's 0-0, 1-0, and then let's go attacking. And then I think we get the dub from there. But if I'm being honest, right, Leipzig's going to be a hard game because they need to qualify as well for round 16, innit?
Yeah, true.
But I definitely think we need Pogba on the field. I mean, I don't really care about this situation. Of course, he's done it many of times before, but you need your best players. And then after this game, I drop Pogba for the City game, but we need him tomorrow night.
Do you think he'd be in the right frame of mind? Do you think he'd be in the right frame of mind going into this game after everything that's going on?
I think he'd be already up for it because it's such a big game and he wants to prove everyone wrong. I think he'll be up for it, but it just...
Tom got bored already.
If Solskjaer loses tomorrow, I think it's all done. I think it's done if we get knocked out of the Champions League. And I just want to win the game tomorrow. I don't want to draw because then we might get Bayern Munich and then we're just going to get slapped up. But I just want...
And that
United
won't go well with me.
I just want United to win the game. I'd rather play Real Madrid in the Champions League round of 16. So can I give you my I need to go soon, so can I my squad lineup and my prediction?
Yeah, sure.
So okay, 1 second. Let me get this up. Alright, 6. So I would go with a 4-5-3-2. I'd go with David De Gea in goals, Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back, Alex Telles at left back, Alex Telles at left back, Brandon Williams left centre back, and the two I would go with Maguire and Lindelof, and also I'd probably put who else is there? What other defenders are there?
There's Eric. I don't know if he's...
Tuanzebe?
I don't think he's injured, actually.
Yeah, Tuanzebe. 3 in the midfield, I would go with Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, and Donny van de Beek, with the front two being Greenwood and Daniel James, with Rashford on the bench coming on late in the game. My prediction...
So you wouldn't even start Rashford? Wait, I thought Rashford was the Messiah. What do you mean you wouldn't start Rashford? How can you not start Rashford? Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that.
You were hyping up about him.
Yeah, because he's going to score a hat-trick like he did last time. We need Rash to be fit for Man City.
Well,
Man City's a harder game than Leipzig.
What, Leipzig away?
I don't know.
Leipzig or nobodies. Leipzig or nobodies. Clip this, right? Leipzig or nobodies.
Yeah. It will be getting clipped up when we get battered, but yeah.
Them and Werder Bremen are the only teams that have nicked points off Bayern away, and they've not lost at home this season. Trust me, I watched the Bundesliga and I can tell you that for a straight fact. Now,
let me tell you this, right? We need Rash to be fully fit. Rash has apparently got a little bit of a niggle, apparently. So that's why I think we need to keep Rash fit.
What is your score prediction, mate?
My score prediction is... I think we'll score, and I think the Leipzig will equalise. Rash to get the dub, 2-1.
2-1, I'll take that all day long. A win, doesn't matter how it comes, but yeah. A few people have joined. Welcome, Sean from Worldwide Red Show. Thanks for joining. Make sure you check him out if you haven't already. He says if Ollie doesn't drop Pogba, says all you need to know about him. Well, to be fair, actually on Rich's stream at 10 o'clock, I'll be on with him as well. So it'll be good to chat there. And if you want to check out his channel and Rich's channel as well, Rich Sports, make sure you check him out as well as Daz's Football Stand. And we've got Kobe joining us. Thanks, Kobe. Appreciate it. And Owen's joined as well. He says exactly KSI, not playing Pogba due to protecting pride. Talk about sabotage. So he agrees with you that we should play Pogba. And Sifo's joined us. Sifo, not a great week for you, my friend. Obviously Spurs giving you the battering, but thanks for joining anyway. Sifo says, I wonder what Europa League group they're gonna put you lot in. Okay.
Who's gonna be in Europa League next season? You and.
Well, they won't even be in the Europa League next season, mate. They won't. They have to claw out of the situation they're in right now.
Imagine being 15th.
Iman says his lineup is Henderson, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Telles, Scott, Matic, Bruno, Mata, Cavani, and Rashford. Cavani can't play, unfortunately, mate. Cavani's actually injured, but everyone else is fine, I think, in that team. Everyone else is available. But yeah, playing Henderson is pretty interesting. But who knows? Iron Man goes with a 3-1 win. I like that. But go on.
I think personally, yeah, we need to. We just need to get the win, any way possible. And people on about, oh look, United, Leipzig, but people on about PSG could go up the Champions League as well. It's very unlikely, but Istanbul could knock PSG out.
Yeah, I doubt. To be honest, I doubt they can do it, but yeah, in theory they could. But going away to PSG and winning.
Wednesday, this week is D-Day. It's basically D-Day. Tomorrow we got us, PSG, Leipzig. Then Wednesday now we got Real Madrid. And either way, two big teams are going to be out the Champions League this season. Two big teams. And it's going to be a very, very painful couple of weeks if United get knocked out. If United get knocked out, then I think Solskjaer needs to go. I think he does.
I think a lot of people will be very, very frustrated if that happens, to be fair. Sifo says, bro, if you lose tomorrow, trust me, you lot are going to get bantered so hard. I'll be in the post-game stream the second it starts. Well, I mean, I appreciate if you are, because obviously I like it when people watch. But at the end of the day,
you can't banter us. You're 15th, and you're not going to get into Europe this season.
Well, that's the thing. Thanks for 12 likes, by the way, guys. Appreciate it.
Kieran, what's Owen's opinion on the game?
Owen's opinion. I'm sure he's got an opinion. He puts his lineup. He says he put Henderson in goal. Shock. Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Tuanzebe, Lindelof as a back five with Telles. Bruno Fernandes, Van der Beek, Pogba, Rashford, and Greenwood. So he's gone with a back five. He's put Henderson in goal, and Pogba's playing. That sums up really. I don't need to say more.
We can have the same team, but some slight changes.
Some slight changes.
Yeah, you wouldn't say that after hyping up.
Yeah, I was surprised about that.
You people need to relax. Rashford needs to be kept special and fit for Man City. People need to relax about Rash, man.
But
when the time is right, he'll come
in the Champions League, and he hasn't the Prem this season.
Solskjaer will keep Solskjaer will probably play.
What's the best that he rests and then doesn't play well against City, though?
He will play against City.
We're going to get
because he
tortured
always
by
plays
City.
against City.
We will not beat Man City.
Yeah, we will.
Especially with us being at home, we'll get tortured.
We'll beat Man
I don't
City.
like just so confident just because we beat them Yes, we beat City 3 times last season. Yeah,
As you realise, right?
But
As you realise,
we're not
Man City are not the team they
going to
were.
beat them at Old Trafford.
Man City are not the team they were 2 years ago. They're not the team they were 2 years ago.
But
they're easily beatable. Ruben Diaz
of
is like a Harry Maguire 2.0. Just remember this. I mean, to be fair, I've said it so much.
Put it this way, right? City are capable of beating anyone. Now, I know they might not be the team they used to be, but they can still beat teams. I know they only won 2-0 against Fulham, but I think Fulham just went there for the day out, to be honest with you. They beat Burnley 5-0. United's defence is shaky still. We're conceding from set pieces. City are relentless from set pieces most of the time. We concede goals from set pieces, we've had it, and that's the same case for tomorrow. If we're going to concede against Leipzig, it's going to be a set piece, because they are good with set pieces.
Kieran, I don't understand all this negativity now. I know we lost, against PSG and everything, but we've been on a good run. Everyone's togetherness and all that.
Yes.
We're finally picking up form.
But so have Leipzig.
Alright, guys, I need to go.
So have Leipzig.
Have a stream.
No worries, man. Cheers for coming on. Appreciate it.
Easy dub tomorrow, Rash. Come on.
Ryan says if we lose tomorrow, Ollie may eventually be sacked.
I bet you Rashford
but I think. Oh yeah, I'm sure Rashford. I'll be surprised if Rashford doesn't, especially with Cavani and Martial out. But I think we'll get through it. Yeah, I think the fact that we're not doing too badly in the league, we probably will just about get through it. Sifo says we'll beat City. Calm down, lads. You sound like Ty. It's embarrassing. And Owen says we should have packed our bags as soon as Demba Ba scored against us. Well, there you go. Who knows? That's a.
People don't understand the negativity, and I don't understand where the positivity comes from. With the defence,
it is that sort of fan base right now. It definitely is. But Daz, what's your prediction? What is your score prediction going into this game? Obviously, you don't think we're going to get more than a point. If you had to predict it, do you think we will get the point?
I think we can get the point, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if we got tortured, to be honest. Just by our defence. The defence, especially with us being a 45-minute club, like, we played well second half, we played terrible the first half. Against West Ham, one of the worst first half performances I've seen this season, and we conceded from a set piece. We should have been about 3-0 down that time, and they should have been out of sight. But if that's Leipzig, they would be 3-0 up at that time, because they don't waste their chances that much. Like, they had chances against Bayern, and a lot of them were actually decent chances. They have a lot of creativity in the team, and have players like Nkunku who can cause a lot of problems with his pace, and Paulson need to watch out for him. He's not been amazing, but he's not been too bad either. Also, you mentioned Martel's a bit too early on. He leads in the midfield. He's the skipper, and he bosses that midfield. So, and he has an eye for goal as well. So you give them real opportunities. They are going to score them sooner or later. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if we got beat 2-0, but I'm going to go positive and actually go for 1-1. But I don't see us getting anything more than a draw.
It's going to be tough. It's definitely going to be very, very tough. I think that's pretty well guaranteed. But yeah, I mean, a draw will take us through. By the way, if you guys don't know, a draw will take United through, but in second place, because realistically, PSG are going to beat Istanbul. At least they're not going to lose to Istanbul at home. I'm kind of trying to jinx it, but I doubt that's going to do anything. Sifo goes with 2-0 Leipzig. To be fair, I'm not surprised. Ryan says he's pretty positive. He says, I'm pretty positive at the moment. If we're in the Champions League in February and 2 or 3 points off top by Jan, not too bad. If that does happen, then that wouldn't be a bad situation, really. And he also says if we're in the Europa League, it'll really dampen the rest of the season and lower confidence. I agree it will. But that's why this game's so important. But
funny thing is, people keep bantering us for, people are going to, Sifo says if United get to the Europa League by getting beat to Leipzig or something, they're going to banter us. Well, actually, we'll have lost to one of the best German teams at the minute. I know they're not as good as Bayern. I'll admit that they're not as good as Bayern, but they are the second best club in Germany at the minute with regards to form. So if we were to lose, I wouldn't be annoyed because I'd be half expecting it. So banter us all you like, Arsenal fans, but you couldn't even beat Olympiacos.
It's true. It's fair play. But yeah, I'm going to end it here, guys.
We got to the semi-finals. So there you go.
Oh well, exactly. Listen, Well, that's the thing. I mean, obviously they've got their FA Cup, but realistically now, where are they? They're what 15th, 16th in the league. Arteta went from being the Messiah to being people are now saying Arteta out. T-shirts being printed saying Arteta out on them. I mean, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. But we've been here before with Arsenal. Let's just say that. But anyway, thanks for joining, Daz. Really appreciate it. Make sure to check out Daz's football stand if you haven't already. But I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much to everyone for watching. Make sure you go over to Rich's channel, Rich Sports. Just here, I'll put it up on the screen right now. Make sure you check it out if you haven't already. At 10 p.m. I'll be live on there with him. And a few other guests as well. Sean from World Wide Red Show, Connor as well. Be a really good show, hopefully. Looking forward to it. So make sure you go over there and set that reminder if you haven't already. But thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And we'll see you all in the next one. Hopefully after the Leipzig game with a smile on our face, hopefully.